I wanted to share a Greentext of something that happened to me in northern Iraq about 10 years ago. It hurts me to share this, given what happened and what I saw. I've seen nothing about this in any media, especially archaeological news. I assume in part it's due to further instability and or continued cover-up. Be me, 19 and fresh off the plane at Speicher in northern Iraq, assigned to a unit that worked with local Kurds near Tikrit. A year or two before there was a massive ISIS attack in the area where scores of Hajis were wiped out for working with us Americans. Our goal was to work out with the local Kurds to root out these cocksuckers. Little did I know what would happen. Assigned to a task force of mixed Kurd units and some contractors to go north towards Sinjar and look for ISIS forces for airstrikes. Not a bad assignment considering, especially given the convoy was about 50 of us across multiple vehicles. As we moved toward Mosul, a contractor opened up a bit and started talking about his mission, which was not ISIS related. Turned out we were pulling a double duty, yes, looking for ISIS around Sinjar, but also escorting these contractors to the same area to explore a site. My commanding officer immediately gets pissed. Apparently, this shit happens all the time, where we, as the regulars, get assignments to do something, but in reality, it's to help the merc contractors out with stealing shit or whatever. Commanding officer's freak out, shuts the contractor in his backseat up. Another hour goes by. Get chirps from ahead that the convoy is stopping. The Kurds are regrouping to a defensive position. Heart racing. We pull off in the middle of the mountains. There's ruins all over the place. Radio was lit up with chatter in Arabic and English. Oh, fuck me. Start hearing booms. A mix of rockets and gunfire from the west. We form up in a circle like the Wild West. The Kurds are flipping out and screaming. Exchange goes on for several minutes. A few casualties of Kurds and a few of our vehicles are fucked up. Call in support. They are far out and will arrive before sunrise. We have like 8 hours alone. Fucked beyond belief. Contractors state we're near where we need to go. The US military need to leave the Kurds and take the remaining operational vehicles to continue their mission. Commanding officer agrees. We piss off the Kurds but get the fuck out, while telling them we'll be back after dropping the contractors off. We head south, and we never see those Kurds again. Still not sure if they died. The contractors have a specific coordinate set to head towards. It's just old farms and ruins everywhere. As we arrive to the place, the sun is set. The contractors tell us to help them set up a perimeter as we approach what looks to be a small hill. We spot blaze orange flags, like the ones you see when they spray lawn chemicals, everywhere around the hill, with a few jutting off. Contractors rush there and start setting up tents. We get told, commanding officers still pissed, to hold the position. Staff sergeant gets word that the Kurds were overrun and probably dead due to intel. Orders are to hold for reinforcements, which should be about 2 hours out. Confused, as before it was well over that. Now it's not long at all. Contractors start asking for help clearing rubble. Turns out there's an entrance into the hill, and all the rubble are old mud bricks. Start clearing out the bricks. There's a tunnel in the hill. Contractors call it a mound. Over here the locals protect this place and ISIS fucking hates it. Saddam was afraid of it and left the area alone. Contractor leader starts telling the others to shut the fuck up. Orders all us military to go back to the tents. Group of contractors go in and remain there for well over an hour. Dead quiet outside. Fucking unnerving. Hey Gunny, help me with this. A contractor appears carrying a bunch of weapons like swords and clubs. Another is carrying a big metal shield. Contractor mentions the site was discovered by the Kurds months earlier and a recon team was sent out, but the area became dangerous due to ISIS activity. CO asks why we're protecting Indiana Jones shit in the middle of enemy territory. Contractor boss guy appears and tells us to shut the fuck up and ignore what we see. Minutes go by, and the contractors vanish in the mound again. We're looking at the stuff, real cool jars and swords, shit like pick related, all corroded and rusty, but wicked looking. Boom. Commanding officer orders us inside the mound. As we hear vehicles approaching, another boom. We head inside. They use these blue glow sticks to light the path. Inside are faded paintings of people, birds, lions, etc. all along the walls. We headed inside deeper until we came upon the contractor guards. They're aiming down on us. Commanding officer tells them to stand down. We're about to get fucked. Contractor guard orders us outside. Pop pop boom. This was close. Sounded like a truck was hit by a rocket. Guards show their weakness then. Commanding officer pushes past them and we follow into the chamber. It's small and smelled really stale. Inside are stacks of tablets and more weapons and stuff. Contractors are boxing everything up. Contractor boss yells at us, orders us back outside like he couldn't hear the explosions. The 6 of us hold our own. Commanding officer tells the contractors that we're all getting boiled in acid by ISIS, so we have to hold into this room until support arrives. Contractor pulls out a phone, linked to an outside transmitter, and tells us help will be here in 10 minutes. What the fuck? We hear shouting outside now, angry fucking screams and shit, as we're fucking having soup sandwiches now. Boom boom boom. Another Humvee, probably gone. One of my bros yells why the fuck we're about to die for this shit. Contractor shouts this stuff is worth more than our lives. It's the temple of Arabol. I think that's what he said. We hear the contractor boss scream to shut the fuck up. Gunfire and fire back as the guards outside engage the enemy. We open fire as well from the doorway and return fire. The return fire is blowing mud brake dust everywhere. Choppers. We hear the thudding of air support. The ISIS gunfire stops and Arabic yelling. Contractors start whooping. We hold position until we hear someone screaming if we're okay in English. Some of the boys from Langley showed up and some Blackhawks and chased off the ISIS guys. We're ordered back outside. Like half an hour later, more vehicles arrive. Contractors have boxed up a bunch of stuff and loaded into several. Commanding officer asked what the fuck happened, and we were told to forget about it. I've never heard about what they found, what they were looking for, etc. I've looked on Google Earth and other satellite stuff where I think we were, and I don't see anything out there that could be the site. Anyone know what Arabol is? What could they have found? Closest I could find is an Armenian god named Yaribol or Yaribol, but his centers of worship were further west in what's now Syria. Intelligence community was using you guys just to tomb raid. Use government resources to acquire treasure that could be sold on the black market. It's like having guys rob a bank and not be sure what's even going on, but still the best guys to pull it off. If it was important, it would have had overwhelming force and close air. OP, if there truly is a connection between this temple and Yarabul, or whatever he's called, then the situation becomes very interesting. Wikipedia says this Yarabul deity is very recent, around 2nd century BC, 4th century AD. The temple is most likely Bronze Age, but Yarabul is not, so if there is a connection, then there's definitely something big that we're missing. By the way, what did the inside of this temple roughly look like? What objects were in there? Was there anything unusual about it? Arabal, Yarabal, Yaribal. He's called a god with 1,000 names for a reason. Anytime you see a depiction of a sunburst behind a god's head, it's gonna be the same worldwide pagan sun god, regardless the local names given to it, which typically still carry a form of the word Baal, by no coincidence. It's why the Statue of Liberty has the crowns of light rays. It may seem silly to see the powers that be defend a small temple to a local deity, but it makes more sense when they're defending an ancient religion ritual site of their great Nimrod, Marduk, Helios, etc., just with the local regional title. Very interesting, by the way. Thanks and bumps for OP. Hi. Spring 2022, right after Putin invades Ukraine. On a ship headed to Iceland, about halfway there, it's 12 a.m. One of the undesignated seamen on watch sees an orange ball behind us, roughly 100 feet above the waterline, about 1 nautical mile aft. Look at it through the big eyes. Amorphous blob with no discernible shape. It's moving with us. Same heading, same bearing, maintaining its distance. Wake up commanding officer and executive officer. Pretty grumpy. Orange ball like a mini sun is following us. Executive officer asks if there's any rotary wash. Helicopters when flying low have a lot of force and would create circular waves. No rotary wash. Executive officer says, if that thing's coming after us, we're fucked. Commanding officer concurs. Both go to bed. 1 hour later, still following us. Sinks to the water and disappears. Then rises up 10 minutes later. starts doing this little bobbing dance of going into the water then rising into the air in 15-minute intervals. After 2 hours, it zooms away and disappears in a wink. We survived flipping off Putin. But we did get a flyby by 2 Russian MiGs. We survived deployment. The end. Does anyone here have any paranormal sightings / stories from their time in the military? I'll share one of mine. At Fort Benning for 1 Station Unit Training, 2023, we finish up firing around 2100 and start a cleanup of the range. Me and my friends decide to fuck off in the woods while everyone cleans. 2 of our buddies come running out of the woods saying they saw something. We all decide to walk where they came from, like a horror movie, to investigate. Take about 10 steps in when I see it. Tall humanoid figure with bright red eyes staring at us. Get an instant gut drop and decide to book it out of there. My friends all follow as well. We group up at the range and one friend asks if we saw that. Everyone chimes in describing the same thing that I saw. I roll in weird circles and all my friends are weird. Being based in Utah for 2 years was pretty cool, and I befriended plenty of Indians and drifters. Most weekends, I would drive to Wyoming to hang out with one of my friends on a reservation. Through him, I was acquainted with a guy who made it seem like he was a Tier 1 operator, but I won't give too many details. Here's the story. Behind his trailer, watching a new pony he just bought from a farmer. Think it might be sick. Begin talking about the usual stuff, Western outlaws and how his grandkid knew Cassidy, both Wild West history nerds. Old guy shambles out of the shack that I thought was used for storage on Buddy's property. This dude is white and lanky as hell. "You must be Anon's military friend," he asked, arms crossed. Gave me weird vibes. Friend never told me about him. Come to find out, he lets this old white veteran live on his land. I know this is possibly bad news because the only white dudes that live on the res off the grid are bad news, for a myriad of police jurisdictional reasons. I served too, Grenada and Iraq. What's your MOS? Don't try me. Goes on to give me a story about how all the guys he served with died in hit-and-run accidents and heart attacks. He decided to go off the grid in Wyoming, drops me a curveball, and I only found all of this out 7 years ago. I was chipped and forced to forget. Now I'm thinking he's crazy. Explains he was homeless, found a lump, which he literally pulled out with a knife, and saw was electronic. All my memories flooded back. I tried to check up with my friends from an op in Iraq. Explains they were sent to kill Saddam about a year before the war, but they all got shot up, and everyone on that raid has since died. Here's the proof, Anon. His back was covered in knife wounds, bullet scars. He also knew ranks and structure. I've met Stolen Valor before, and it's usually really easy to tell. Hey bros, a bit paranoid these past days because of some coincidence and passings on in my circle. People have gone missing, and I guess I'm just gonna let it out here, with the hope anyone picks it up. To give some context, I'm Chilean, and I'm very sorry if I have bad grammar, but it is what it is. A few years ago, I did my military service here, and saw some weird shit that to this day, I haven't been able to explain. Along with some of the people that I did my time there with went missing, or appeared dead, and they were directly related to the happenings of that night. After that, we all had to sign some documents legally declaring that we weren't exposed to any dangerous material or any harm, psychological or physical, to us. It was around October 2018. I was stationed along the Bolivian border, along with other conscript soldiers. Our routines consisted of patrols and catching a few Bolivian mules here and there, and handing them to the police. We slept in a small open complex consisting of 2 buildings that belonged to a failed mining operation, and some 12 containers piled and welded together to have a semi-functional barracks/general purpose building. We could see a few Amira villages to the distance, but nothing more. The night of the incident, we just came back around 10 to 11 p.m. We got handed some of our MREs and were told to dine on that. While we got ready to sleep, I caught a funny smell. If any of you had a tube TV and ever played with the static near your face, that's the smell. Or if you have an ozone machine, it's the same. It was a weird electric smell. Regardless of having a few traumas with electric discharges, I went and suited up to check on the fuse box a few paces away. I awoke the guard on duty and told him. He jokingly said, "Don't let the Martians catch you." This was some big foreshadowing. While out, it got warmer. The Atacama Desert is cold at night, and the electric smell got stronger. Out of nowhere and over in the mountains, I started to see what I thought were flashlights. moving here and there, and maybe some idiot got lost, and there was a search party that we weren't notified of. I thought nothing of it and went back inside without skipping a pace, as I got real uneasy with the electric smell. Soon as I came back, I saw the guard on duty in full gear, and my mates putting their bunks against the windows and shutting them with locks. Asked what the fuck was going on. I didn't want this to happen with you guys here, but I guess you guys were just unlucky. I didn't understand what he meant, but out the door I saw the rest of the people that were in the base just bunkering up where they could. I thought maybe a war broke out, or maybe it's a drill. Asked the guard on duty what to do, and he told me, lock the door, put everything you can against it and any exit. Do not look out, and if you fucking see anything creepy, you shoot it. That sent chills down my spine. I just went into autopilot and started doing whatever everyone else was. Jumped in my gear and loaded the full magazines, as we had a couple with blanks mixed in. We didn't have any state-of-the-art rifles, just SIGs, so we all cornered and aimed at the only door in the barracks room. Some maybe 15 rifles at it, while all the windows started to shake and the lights went off. We could see small dim lights outside, while the smell got stronger, to the point of stinging our noses, and the air went hot and heavy. I was really shitting myself, and didn't know what to do. This went on for the whole night. I don't remember much. After a couple hours of this, we just packed up and hightailed it back to the city, knowing there would be another unit shortly moving in. Soon as we got to the unit at the closest city, we spoke with some of the old soldiers, and the only thing they told us was, don't tell anyone. Even if you do, they won't believe you, and that's an advantage. A couple of days ago, 3 guys from my unit that were in there went missing. 2 appeared dead from unknown causes, and 1 still hasn't been found. Last time I stayed over with them, most were convinced of just breaching the waiver, or whatever that paper they gave us was called, and telling the press and TV. I don't know if anything will happen to me for sharing this here. I haven't shared it outside anywhere else. The only people that know are my comrades from the army, but just want to make sure someone else knows, just in case.